guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video we are going to be doing a review and also an eyeshadow tutorial on this cranberry eye. I am going to be reviewing, swatching, giving you guys the tea on the brand new collection by Colourpop and Beckyg. This is the Salvaje collection. I actually have everything from the collection except one of the loose highlighters that I felt it was just not going to fit my skin tone. It was just not my cup of tea. But I do share my thoughts on everything else, and I also swatch everything on camera for you guys. I also have a foundation review on the brand new L'Oreal Infallible foundation in case you missed that. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat and on Instagram because when I'm not here, I'm most likely over there, so go follow me there. And yeah guys, with that being said, if you want to know how to recreate this look or if you want to know if the collection is worth it or not, then let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I have my Red Bull because I have a couple videos to film, so I have my Red Bull. So for the remainder of the videos, you guys are either going to get a get ready with me, you guys are either going to get a review like the one today, or just an eyeshadow tutorial with any other palette. I'm still going to continue to upload a video every single day up until the 20th, I believe it is. So you guys are still going to get a video, but it's just going to be something different. We are not going to continue using the James Charles palette. If you want to know why, then stick up to day number 20th. Actually going to start off with the eyes. This is what the Salvaje palette looks like. I absolutely love the whole concept behind the palette. When you open the palette, you do get a mirror. I own almost every single palette that Colourpop has come out with, and I don't think I own any with a mirror, so I really appreciate that this one does come with a mirror. So this is the palette here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to recreate one of the looks that she did on one of the campaign photos, or at least try to. To start off, I'm actually gonna take, should I take Caramelito or should I take Lola? I'm gonna try to use as many shades as I can in the palette. So the first one that I'm gonna take is Caramelito right here, which is a taupey light brown shade, and that's perfect for the crease as a transition shade. So I'm gonna start off with that one. I'm going to start by placing this on the outer corner of the eye, working it inwards in windshield wiper motions back and forth. I just want this to be really blown out. I will say I absolutely love the Colourpop formula. I think it's one of the best in the market, and not only that, but I love the fact that all of their products are super affordable and they come out with bomb products. Every time I review a product from Colourpop, I always say how I don't understand how they make money, because they make really good quality products for a really affordable price. I actually took this in the Morphe M513, which is a fluffy blending brush. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Lola. Lola is a very muted peachy shade. And I'm also going to start by packing this on the crease area. I really want this nice and blended. I want it really blown out. Bringing this from inner to outer corner, I want this all in there. You know what I mean? Moving on to a different brush, I'm taking the Morphe M573. This is a blending brush, but it's a very pointier brush. That way it can actually like get in there, if you know what I mean. Alright guys, so now I'm actually going to take the shade Sangria, which is like the red burgundy burnt red color from the palette. I'm gonna begin by placing this in the outer part of the eye. First I like to pack my shadows, and then I like to go in and blend them. That way I have a placement of where I'm going to lay them. Once I have the color laid, I'm going to do very small circular motions starting at the very tip of the eye. I'm just going to build the intensity of this shade on the outer part of the lid, and what I like to do is start by packing it. Whatever is left on the brush, I'm just going to go ahead and drag it on the inner corner of my eye. Ever so lightly. As you guys can see, there's a very, very minimal product left on the brush. So it's just going to give me a perfect wash of that shade here. Moving on to the Morphe M506. This is a small blending brush. It's a little bit more precise, as you guys can see, but I don't know about Malbec. What is Malbec? What is Malbec? Anyways, I'm gonna take Malbec in this pencil brush, and I'm actually just going to concentrate this in very small circular motions in the outer corner of the eye to kind of intensify the whole look. I'm bringing it into my inner corner as well. Now I'm gonna go back into the brush that we started with. This is the Morphe M513, and I feel like this is the most important brush just because when you're going back in and blending, you always want to go in with a clean brush. I just like to take the brush that I started with just because it has a transition shade, especially if the transition shade is not as dark and intense. This one in this case is a more like peachy tone, so I'm just gonna go in and blend everything out. So now I'm going to take a flat brush. This is the 103 by BH Cosmetics. I'm gonna start off with the shade Patrona, which is the red one from the palette. This looks super, super, super pigmented. So starting off with this one, I'm actually going to place this right here in the inner part of the eye. Then with the other side of the brush, I'm gonna take the shade Celosa, which is like a muted pink shimmery shadow. And I'm just applying this in the inner corner of my eye. I love the fact that I didn't even have to cut my lid, and they're still pretty pigmented and pretty intense, as you guys can see. Now I'm going to take another flat brush. I'm going to pick up the shade Estrella, which is this one right here. And I'm going to place this in the inner corner, in the very, very inner corner. I'm actually going to take the E18 by Morphe, and I'm going to start off with the shade Lola, which is that peachy transition shade that we used. And I'm just going to go ahead and buff this on the lower lash line. I'm now going to take the M432 by Morphe. This is a flat definer brush, and I'm going to pick up some of the shade Sangria, and I'm going to stamp it on my lower lash line. I'm just buffing out that shade that I just applied. And the reason why I went ahead and set my face is because we're gonna move on to the loose highlighter. This one is the Luster Dust by Colourpop. I have never, ever tried this, but I've heard really good things about them. Really like the component that it comes in. Tap some on the cap. Then we're gonna go from there. I actually only got one of these, but I believe she launched 2 of them. I only got this one. This one is in the shade Chisme because it's a golden champagne kind of color, which is what I like. And the other one was more of a rose gold. So yeah, this is what I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some from the cap, and then let's go ahead and apply. Nice. I really love how reflective this is, as you guys can see, and I'm only taking whatever is on the cap. Okay, so moving on to the last part are the lip products. One that I'm going to be wearing on my lips is in the shade Mija, and this is an ultra satin lip. See that the ultra satins are not drying like the matte liquid lipsticks. I feel like those are a little bit more on the dry side. These are still super pigmented and they last a really long time. I went ahead and applied Secreto on top of it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch them on my hand real quickly so you guys can see. So the first one is in the shade Secreto. Secreto is an ultra matte liquid lipstick. I really like the undertone of this one. It's not like a lipstick and it's not like a gloss. I don't know, it's kind of like a more comfortable version of a matte liquid lipstick, if that makes sense. And this one is like in a dusty kind of rosy pinky nude kind of color. I really like it. Up next we have the shade Chola. Chola is an ultra satin, so it's also going to be very comfortable. And this one is in between like a brown and a burgundy. It's like a dark burgundy kind of color. So you guys can see I am living. I'm gonna go ahead and show this up close just so you guys can see how they look as well. And then lastly we have the shade Besame. Besame is the least favorite in my opinion. I am not digging it. And Besame is an ultra matte liquid lipstick. So the shade Besame is in between a red and a pink. It's kind of like a fuchsia and a red mixed together. It's just not my vibe. But this is it right here. So we have the 5 shades right there. And the reason why I fell in love with this collection is because it is not only like an everyday kind of collection, but I just feel like you can get a lot of looks, and also the shades are very wearable. Okay, so here's an up close of the lippies. As you guys can see, the first 4 are really wearable. I really like them. The first 3 are definitely more on the nude terracotta kind of side, and I definitely have to say that my favorite of all have to be the ultra satins. I have never tried an ultra satin lip from Colourpop. I have tried the matte versions and they're not my favorite. I just feel like they're a lot like the Kylie liquid lipsticks, where they're just very drying on the lips. So if you have dry lips, they're just not gonna work out for you, period. I like to do with the Colourpop mattes is wear this one underneath. This is just like a lip balm from Vaseline, and it just gives me some type of hydration underneath the liquid lipstick, if that makes sense. And then I'll go ahead and wear a matte lip from them just because it is more on the drier side. But overall, I feel like the whole collection is incredible. I feel like this is a collection that you should pick up. 1, because it's super affordable. 2, because I am a fan of Colourpop. Not all of their products. Definitely, I am a fan of the eyeshadow palettes. I own probably all of them, if not a lot. Very pigmented. They are super beautiful. They're easy to blend. I love the formula. And ultra satin liquid lipsticks are my favorite. So yeah, the whole collection is super affordable. I feel like I think I paid like $58 if I'm not mistaken for the entire collection, except one of the highlighters, but I still think it's a pretty good price for everything that you get. 1, because one eyeshadow palette normally runs around $58, and most of the time I feel like when I pay over $40 for an eyeshadow palette, it's not as good as Colourpop, and Colourpop is quality. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Also, if you're new here and you want to become part of our T-Squad family, don't forget to subscribe in the link down below. Don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so YouTube alerts you for tomorrow's video. That being said, guys, I will catch you guys tomorrow in my next video. Bye, guys.